Micky, just before we come on to the Gillingham game, I must ask you about your reaction to the cup draw, which is very exciting for the club, isn't it?
Yeah, really good for the club. Of course, there's a lot of games in between now and then, but good for the club, and a fantastic tie on the horizon.
It's so important, isn't it? I mean, for the fans, the excitement, but financially as well for the club to get a tie like this.
Yeah, huge financially, because everybody knows how difficult it is for clubs at this level, and to get what you hoped for at the start of the season, a big Premier League club at home, or indeed away, is brilliant for the football club.
And it's why you put the effort in to come back from 2-0 down to hopefully get something like this.
Yeah, you always put the effort in. It's just to try and win games of football, but the reward has been a big Premiership game, so we're delighted with that.
But as you say, it's on the horizon. You've got to concentrate on the job in front of you. And I know, talking after the Accrington game, you weren't happy with the first half performance. A lot of spirit after that, but you don't want to be 2-0 down in games, do you?
No, you make it very difficult for yourself to continually have to keep coming from behind. We understand that we are in the process of building something. We get all that, but we still have to keep the standards high and the expectation levels of ourselves high. And when we drop below them, we want to be tough on ourselves and expected to do better. It's what we should always do. So that was what happened at half time in the game at Accrington, and then at full time. Every credit to the players, they came out the second half and gave a better performance. We still know that there's improvements to be made. We still have players still trying to get fit and not available through injuries, but we understand that and they've still got to come back. But the players that are getting the opportunity to play, they'll still be held to high account, because I think that's the best way to try and get people to improve, is to expect the maximum out of them all the time.
Well, what can that win give you in terms of confidence? It wasn't a league game, obviously, but it's that winning feeling which is priceless.
Well, that's what football is all about, is winning. We set out to prepare for every game to try and win the game. Of course, there's a performance needed in between that in order to try and give yourself a good chance of getting the victories, and that's what we do in the training ground. We keep practicing that to try and make that consistent, so that we know what we're trying to do to try and get results and try and get good at that. So, but to get a result was important, but it's quickly back down to working again hard on finding the performance necessary in order to give yourselves a chance of winning games of football.
And I know you're used to it, this kind of Saturday, midweek Saturday. It's a hard grind, isn't it? And particularly at the moment in the heat. Is that an issue at the moment?
Well, obviously there's factors that are involved in getting people prepared for performances. One of them being it's hot, the other one being the amount of games that we're playing. But we know all about that at the start of the season. It's the same for everybody else. It's just about getting your mentality right and finding a way of performing well and getting results.
So Gillingham is the hurdle in front of you next. They've made a steady start to the season, I think, a win and a draw, and they won in the cup as well. So what are you expecting?
Well, I know the manager well. I know that they'll be well organised. We've watched a lot of them. They're a strong team. Like I say, well organised, and we'll come in here expecting to do well. So the challenge is there for us again. Everybody comes to Tranmere and is they're always up for the challenge. So we need to make sure that we overcome and be bigger than that. So we'll look forward to it. We enjoy playing at home, like I say all the time. We're trying to put something together now, a way of playing. We just need to get consistent at that from the start of the game, and I'm sure we'll be more than fine.
You know the manager there, you mentioned there, Neil Harris. I think he's had about half a season in there, the back end of last season. And do you see them as being potentially the teams that are going to be up there challenging for promotion? You
would imagine so, yeah. They'll be really disappointed that they won't be able to stay in the division, but they know that at the end of the season, and they've got themselves prepared now to try and bounce back. They've recruited to try and do that. There'll always be a big club at this level, Gillingham. And the manager will be full of expectation, as you would expect. So yeah, we know it was going to be a tough game, and we'll need to be up and doing our best to to make sure that we go and give ourselves a chance of getting a result.
And I know you've had a few injuries, obviously, from the start of the season. How are you looking for this one?
We picked up another couple on Tuesday. It's that time of the season where players are still trying to get fit and still building on their fitness levels. So you do run the risk of that at this stage of the season anyway. So it's no great surprise that you pick up bits and bobs at this stage in the season. So we have got our fair share, to be fair. But they're all here to play, as I always say. And you'll never get me here sitting making excuses about that. They're all here to play. They all know their jobs. We'll get them organised, and they'll be expected to go out there and perform in a way that we have practised to a level that will be needed to make a good fist of getting an important result with the weekend.
And hopefully it'll be a good old atmosphere at Prenton Park, and the fans can help you get over the line.
Yeah, they always do. They did on Tuesday night. Drove the boys on. They know their part that they have to play and what we do. We know our part, and we have to get them going as well by the way that we perform and the way that we fight for them and represent them. So it works both ways. But when that comes together, we know what a formidable club and opponent that we can be, and we'll look to try and do that on Saturday.